Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and distractions that aim to throw you off balance. But here's the secret: your power lies in how you respond, not in what happens. To act like nothing disturbs you anymore is not about denial, it's about mastery. Mastery of your emotions, your focus, and your purpose. It's about walking through the storm and letting the wind know it can't move you. When the world feels like it's spinning out of control, the real challenge isn't the chaos around you, it's the chaos within. People think strength is about charging into every situation, fighting every battle, but true strength is quieter. It's found in the moments when you could react, could let the noise pull you in, but you don't. You stay still, calm, focused. Imagine yourself as the eye of a hurricane. The winds may rage, the rain may fall, but in the center there's peace. That's where you need to live, not in the storm, not in the noise, but in the quiet center of your being. It's a decision you make. Every day, every moment, you decide that no matter what happens, no matter how loud life gets, you will remain unshaken. That's power. That's control. You see, when you allow the outside world to dictate how you feel, you give away your authority. The traffic jam, the argument, the bad news, they become your master. But when you remain calm, even as the chaos unfolds, you reclaim your throne. You become the one in charge. And let me tell you, there's nothing more intimidating to the world than someone who refuses to be rattled. It's not easy. The world will test you. It'll throw curveballs, distractions, and people who push every button you have. But your job isn't to fight the storm, it's to rise above it. To remind yourself that your peace isn't for sale. Your focus isn't up for grabs. Stay centered no matter what's swirling around you, and you'll find that the chaos begins to respect you. It won't touch you the way it touches others, because it sees you've mastered something most people never do yourself. Not every battle is worth fighting. That's a lesson life will teach you one way or another. You can't spend your energy on every slight, every disagreement, or every challenge that comes your way. If you do, you'll find yourself drained, scattered, and defeated, not because you weren't strong enough, but because you were too distracted to focus on what truly mattered. Wisdom is knowing which battles deserve your attention and which ones don't even deserve a glance. It's not about being weak or avoiding confrontation, it's about protecting your time, your energy, and your peace. Let me tell you, there's power in walking away from a fight that doesn't align with your purpose. There's strength in not letting petty situations steal your focus. Every time you engage in something small, you're taking time away from something big. Think about that. While you're arguing over something insignificant, your real goals, your real dreams are sitting on the sidelines waiting for you to give them the attention they deserve. The question is, will you let distractions win, or will you choose your battles wisely? Here's the truth: some battles are traps. They're designed to pull you in, to get you emotional, to make you lose sight of what's important. People will bait you with their words, with their actions, hoping you'll take the bait. But when you don't, when you just smile, nod, and move on, that's when you win. That's when you show them that their noise can't touch your calm. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're stepping up. It means you're saying, my energy is precious, and I won't waste it on something that doesn't push me forward. That's strength. That's discipline. And that's how you keep your eyes on the prize while everyone else is busy fighting battles that don't even matter. Silence is a powerful weapon. It doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, but it speaks volumes. In a world where everyone is quick to respond, quick to defend, quick to react, silence sets you apart. It's a statement in itself. When you choose not to engage, not to let your emotions dictate your actions, you send a message louder than any words could ever achieve. There's a strength in silence that most people will never understand. When someone tries to provoke you, they expect a reaction. They're looking for a sign that they've gotten under your skin, that they've pulled you into their chaos. But when you don't give them what they want, it unsettles them. It makes them question their own power, because in that moment you've shown them that their words, their actions have no control over you. But silence isn't just about dealing with others, it's about dealing with yourself. When you hold your tongue, you give yourself a moment to think, to process, to choose your response wisely. Too often people speak out of anger, frustration, or fear, and those words can't be taken back. But when you remain silent, you maintain control. You don't have to fix what you didn't say. Silence also gives you clarity. It allows you to step back, to observe the situation without being consumed by it. You start to see things differently. You notice what's really going on, what's worth your energy, and what isn't. In silence, you find understanding. And in understanding, you find power. People will misinterpret your silence. And that's okay. Let them. Some will think it's weakness. Others will think you have nothing to say. But the truth is, silence isn't empty, it's full of intention. It's full of restraint, wisdom, and confidence. When you master the art of silence, you don't just protect your peace, you command respect without ever having to demand it. Life throws curveballs every single day. Some are small, like a delayed plan or a critical remark, and some are big enough to shake your entire foundation. But here's the truth, no matter what happens, the power to move forward lies in focusing on what you can control. That's where your strength lives. That's where your freedom begins. You can't control the storm, but you can adjust your sails. You can't control how people treat you, but you can control how you react. You can't control the circumstances, but you can control the choices you make within them. That's the key, channeling your energy into the things that are within your reach. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about owning the part of it that belongs to you. Worry and frustration come when you try to take on battles that aren't yours to fight. You get caught up in what they said, what they did, or what didn't go your way. But think about it, does worrying about the rain stop it from falling? No. Does stressing over someone else's behavior change who they are? Never. What it does is rob you of time, energy, and focus, things you could be using to build something meaningful in your own life. When you focus on what you can control, you become unstoppable. You start to see that every challenge, every obstacle is just an opportunity to make a choice. Will you let it break you, or will you rise above it? That's within your power. It's not always easy. Sometimes the weight feels unbearable, but when you focus on your next step, just one step, the load becomes lighter. Don't waste time complaining about things you can't change. That energy could be invested in creating solutions, in growing stronger, in moving forward. Let the rest go. Let the uncontrollable be what it is. When you narrow your focus to what's truly within your hands, you stop feeling powerless. You stop being a victim of circumstances, and you become the architect of your own path. That's the kind of power no one can take from you. You will always face moments where emotions threaten to take control. Anger rises, frustration builds, disappointment weighs heavy, and you feel the urge to react. But let me tell you something powerful, the ability to hold back, to pause, to choose a higher response. That's where true strength lies. It's not about suppressing what you feel, it's about mastering it. When you react emotionally, you give the situation control over you. It's like handing over the keys to your peace, your focus, your power. And let's be real, most of the time, those reactions don't make anything better. They escalate, they complicate, they leave you picking up pieces you didn't need to break in the first place. But when you learn to rise above those emotions, you change the game. You dictate the terms. Think of it like a fire. Emotions can flare up, burn bright, and consume everything in their path if you let them. But you are not the fire, you are the one who decides whether it spreads. A moment of anger can lead to words you can't take back. A moment of frustration can lead to decisions you'll regret. But when you pause, when you take a breath, you become the calm in the chaos. You become untouchable. It's not easy. People will push you. Situations will test you. There will be moments when walking away feels like the hardest thing to do. But here's the truth, reacting is easy. Rising above is hard. And that's why it's so powerful, because most people won't do it. Most people let their emotions run the show, and that's why they stay stuck. But not you. Not anymore. When you master your emotions, you start to see things clearly. You make decisions based on logic, on purpose, not on how you feel in the moment. And that clarity, that control becomes your strength. People will notice. They'll see that you don't rattle easily, that you don't get dragged into the noise, and they'll respect you for it. More importantly, you'll respect yourself. This isn't about pretending you don't feel anything. You're human and emotions are part of the deal. But you have the power to decide whether they control you or whether you control them. And when you choose the latter, you don't just change how you handle the moment, you change how you handle life. Strength doesn't just come from the body, it comes from the mind. And a strong mind isn't built overnight, it's forged in the fire of challenges, decisions, and discipline. Your mind is your most powerful weapon, but it only becomes unbreakable when you train it to stand firm no matter what comes your way. Every day, life gives you two choices: to grow stronger or to stay the same. And let me tell you, strength doesn't come from comfort. It doesn't come from the easy road. It's built when you face the hard things, the things that test you, the things that force you to dig deeper than you thought you could. That's where an unbreakable mindset is born. But here's the thing, strength isn't just about endurance, it's about focus. What are you feeding your mind? What are you allowing into your space? Every word you hear, every thought you entertain, every influence you welcome shapes your mental foundation. If you let negativity, doubt, and fear take root, they will grow, and they will weaken you. But if you fill your mind with hope, with wisdom, with clarity, you build walls no storm can tear down. Discipline is key. There will be days when you don't feel like pushing yourself, when giving up feels easier than holding on. But that's the moment when you choose. You remind yourself that feelings are temporary, but the results of your decisions last. Every time you push through, you add another layer to your strength. An unbreakable mind also knows how to adapt. Life will hit you with surprises, and not all of them will be pleasant. But when your mind is strong, you don't crumble. You adjust. You find another way. You remind yourself that failure is not the end, it's just a step in the process. And every step, no matter how difficult, is building something greater within you. People with weak minds let the world dictate how they feel, how they act, and what they believe. But when your mindset is unshakable, nothing outside of you can control your peace. You walk into every situation knowing you have what it takes to handle it, not because life is easy, but because you've trained yourself to rise above. An unbreakable mind isn't about pretending you don't feel fear, doubt, or pain. It's about choosing to move forward in spite of them. It's about reminding yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, more resilient than your challenges, and more determined than the obstacles in your way. And once you've built that mindset, there's nothing you can't conquer.
Your worth is not up for debate, and it's not something that anyone else gets to decide. The moment you tie your value to what others think, you give away your power. You start living for their approval, chasing validation, and bending yourself to fit into molds that were never made for you. But here's the truth: you don't need anyone to confirm what's already inside you. Your worth is inherent. It's not something you earn, it's something you own. People will have opinions about you, good, bad, and indifferent. They'll judge, criticize, praise, and sometimes ignore you altogether. But none of that changes who you are. None of that defines your potential or your purpose. What matters is how you see yourself and whether you choose to stand firm in that vision, no matter what others say or think. It's not about arrogance, it's about confidence. It's about knowing who you are and walking in that knowledge every single day. You weren't created to seek validation from the world. You were created to fulfill a purpose that's unique to you. And guess what? Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will celebrate it. And that's okay. It's not their job to see your value, it's yours. When you detach from the need for external validation, you find freedom. You stop worrying about fitting in, about being liked, about measuring up to someone else's standards. Instead, you start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your goals, and your inner peace. That's when you become unstoppable, because you're no longer held back by the weight of other people's expectations. It's not an easy path. There will be moments when the criticism stings, when the silence feels like rejection, or when the praise you hope for never comes. But in those moments, remind yourself you're not here to live for applause. You're here to live with purpose. The applause will come when it's time, and if it doesn't, your purpose remains. People will always have something to say, but their opinions are like passing clouds. They shift, they change, and they fade. Your value, your identity is like the sky, constant, unchanging, and vast beyond measure. Hold on to that truth. Walk with it. Let it guide you. When you stop chasing external validation, you start living authentically, and that's a life no one can take away from you. There's a strength in knowing when to keep your plans to yourself. Not everything you're working on, dreaming of, or striving for needs to be broadcasted to the world. Sometimes the most powerful moves you make are the ones no one sees coming. In a world where everyone's eager to share every detail of their journey, holding your cards close to your chest is a rare and valuable skill. When you share your plans too soon, you open the door for interference. Not everyone will cheer for you, not everyone will understand your vision, and some will actively try to discourage you. That's not always out of malice. It can come from their own fears, doubts, or lack of belief in what's possible. But their perspective isn't your responsibility. Your responsibility is to protect your dream until it's strong enough to stand on its own. There's a power in moving silently. It gives you the space to grow without distractions, to refine your craft, and to prepare for challenges without the weight of outside opinions. When people don't know what you're building, they can't sabotage it. They can't criticize what they can't see. And that freedom allows you to focus fully on what matters, putting in the work and staying true to your vision. Patience is key. You don't need to prove anything to anyone before it's time. Let the results speak for you. Let your achievements be the announcement. When the time is right, they'll see what you've been working on, and it will speak louder than any words ever could. But until then, stay quiet, stay focused, protect your energy and your process. Silence isn't about secrecy, it's about strategy. It's about understanding that not every step needs an audience and not every success needs applause. When you keep your plans private, you create a space where failure isn't a spectacle, but a lesson. You give yourself room to pivot, to adapt, to grow without the pressure of outside eyes watching your every move. Moving in silence also teaches discipline. It trains you to rely on your own belief, your own motivation, rather than seeking validation from others. That self-reliance becomes a cornerstone of your strength. You learn to trust yourself, to bet on yourself, and that's a power no one can take away from you. When you emerge, when your work is ready, it will carry a weight that can't be ignored. People will see the results and wonder how you did it, but the truth is you didn't need them to know every step. You just needed to stay focused, stay patient, and let the silence do the heavy lifting. In the end, the loudest victories are often born in the quietest efforts. Your peace is your most valuable possession, and it's something you must protect at all costs. The world is full of chaos, people bringing their drama, their negativity, their issues, and their insecurities right to your doorstep. But you don't have to answer. You don't have to let their noise disrupt your calm. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's how you stay grounded, focused, and aligned with your purpose. The truth is, not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people thrive on conflict, on stirring the pot, on pulling you into their storm. But here's the secret you don't have to engage. Just because someone throws negativity your way doesn't mean you have to catch it. You can step aside, let it pass, and keep your peace intact. That's your choice, and it's one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Protecting your peace means setting boundaries and sticking to them. It means learning to say no without guilt, walking away without hesitation, and standing firm without apology. It's not about shutting people out, it's about choosing who and what you let in. If something or someone is costing you your peace, it's too expensive. And you have every right to let it go. But protecting your peace also means taking care of yourself. It's about creating space for stillness in a noisy world, for reflection in a demanding life. It's about listening to your inner voice instead of being overwhelmed by outside opinions. When you protect your peace, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You start to see what truly matters and what doesn't. You learn to let go of the things that weigh you down and hold on to the things that lift you up. Understand this peace isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you cultivate. It's the result of intentional choices, of walking away from what doesn't serve you and leaning into what does. It's about choosing to be calm in the chaos, steady in the storm, and unshaken in the face of disruption. People might not understand it. They might call you cold, distant, or even selfish for prioritizing your peace. But remember this, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give your best to the world if you're constantly drained, distracted, or defeated. Protecting your peace isn't just for you, it's for everyone you impact, everything you're building, and every goal you're chasing. When you guard your peace, you regain control. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the master of your own life. You make room for joy, for growth, for purpose. And in a world that tries to pull you in every direction, that's a power worth fighting for. Protect it fiercely. Confidence isn't about being loud or showing off. It's about walking into every room, every situation with the quiet assurance that you belong, that you're capable, that you're enough. True confidence doesn't demand attention, it commands respect. It's the kind of presence that speaks volumes without saying a word, the kind that makes people take notice, not because you're shouting, but because you're grounded in who you are. But let's be real, confidence doesn't just happen. It's built. It's built in the moments when you face your fears and take that first step anyway. It's built in the times when you fail, pick yourself up and keep moving forward. Confidence comes from experience, from putting in the work, and from proving to yourself that you're stronger than the obstacles in your way. The first step to being confident is to stop comparing yourself to others. Their journey isn't yours. Their victories, their struggles, their timeline, none of it determines your worth. You don't need to compete because there's no one else like you. Your path is unique, and that's your power. Focus on your growth, your progress, and your potential, and watch how your confidence begins to rise. Confidence also comes from preparation. When you know you've done the work, when you've studied, practiced, and prepared, you walk into any situation with your head held high. You don't need to second guess yourself because you've already proven to yourself that you're ready. Preparation turns fear into focus and doubt into determination. But here's the thing about confidence, it's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. People are drawn to realness, not pretense. So own your flaws, embrace your imperfections. Confidence is knowing that you don't have to be perfect to be valuable, that your worth isn't diminished by your mistakes, but strengthened by your willingness to learn from them. There will always be voices trying to shake your confidence down from within and criticism from others. But you have to remind yourself of the truth. Those voices don't define you. You define you. Confidence isn't about silencing the doubt completely. It's about choosing to move forward in spite of it. It's about betting on yourself when no one else does. And let's not forget the most powerful part of confidence is it inspires others. When you walk in your truth, when you stand firm in your worth, you give others permission to do the same. Confidence isn't just about you, it's about the impact you have on the people around you. It's about showing them what's possible when you believe in yourself. So walk tall, speak with purpose, act with conviction, not because you need to prove anything to anyone, but because you've already proven it to yourself. That's confidence. That's strength. And that's what makes you unstoppable. To act like nothing disturbs you anymore is to reclaim your power. It's not about ignoring the world, it's about rising above it. The more unshaken you become, the more unstoppable you are. So stand tall, stay calm, and let the world see that nothing can break your stride.